My hands tremble under the table, but I keep my back ramrod straight, spine forged from 7 years of grit and late-night breakthroughs. Eleanor Hayes's voice slashes through the boardroom like a shard of glass, each word a calculated cut. She's 58, all sharp edges and sharper ambition, her polished nails digging into the mahogany as if she could pin me to the wall with them. The CEO of Hayes Innovations, my mother-in-law, my jailer, leans forward, her ice blue eyes locked on me. Faye Dawson, 34, the scientist who dared to dream bigger than her little empire. "We need someone who understands the corporate game," she says, her tone dripping with fake regret, pooling on the table like crocodile tears. "Not a scientist dabbling in the C-suite." Around the room, the board members, suits I've known since I was a grad school nobody, shift uncomfortably, their silence louder than her venom. My husband, Nathan Hayes, 36, sits beside me, his jaw twitching as he starts to speak. "Mother," her glare snaps to him, a guillotine dropping. "No, Nathan, this isn't up for debate. The board agrees." She doesn't even glance at Lauren Pierce, 29, perched at the table's far end like a vulture in a designer blazer, her smug smile barely contained. Eleanor's protege, her goddaughter, her weapon. "Faye's experiments were cute when we were smaller," Eleanor continues, waving a dismissive hand. "But we're going public in 6 months. We need real leadership. Lauren will take over R&D, effective immediately." The air thickens, a storm brewing in my chest. 7 years, countless nights in the lab, every patent that's made Hayes Innovations a prize for Wall Street, all dismissed as cute. I glance at Nathan, waiting for the man I married to rise, to fight. He shifts, his tie perfectly knotted, his courage not. "Mother, maybe." "Enough," she barks, and he deflates, a balloon punctured by her stare. My fingers tighten around the papers in front of me, a transition agreement, a severance package they call generous. Hush money more like, to gag me while they shove me out. Lauren's grin widens, her MBA from Wharton gleaming in her eyes like a trophy I never cared to chase. "And if I refuse?" I ask, my voice steady, cutting through the tension like a blade of my own. Eleanor's smile tightens, a predator scenting defiance. "Then we'll revisit your contract, Faye. That non-compete clause. 5 years is a long time to sit out this industry, don't you think?" Oh, I remember. I helped draft it, back when I thought I was shielding our company, our family. How naive. I meet her gaze, unblinking, and see the boardroom for what it is. A chessboard, and I'm the pawn she's tossing aside. But she's forgotten something. Every major breakthrough, every patent propping up this IPO has my name on it. Not Hayes Innovations. Mine. I keep that close, a secret ember in my pocket, and rise, gathering my papers with hands that no longer shake. "I'll need time to review this with my lawyer," I say, cool as steel. Eleanor waves me off, already turning to Lauren. "Take all the time you need. Clear your office by end of day. Lauren's ready to hit the ground running." I nod, biting back the retort, burning my tongue. Let them think they've won. They've no idea what's coming. The elevator drones, a slow descent from 7 years of victories to a stack of cardboard boxes by my office door. Eleanor doesn't waste time assuming she's won, typical. My heels click against the polished floor as I step into what used to be my sanctuary, now a crime scene of her ambition. The desk is bare save for a few personal items, and a new email pings on my screen. From her, of course. "HR will assist with your exit. Leave all company materials. Personal items mailed after security clearance. Regards, Eleanor Hayes, CEO." I laugh, sharp and bitter, the sound bouncing off the walls. She's already drafting her victory speech, I bet. Boxes loom by the door. Someone's been busy. They didn't even wait for me to sign their damn papers. I sink into my chair one last time, fingers tracing the smooth wood, memories flashing like a reel, late nights perfecting prototypes, the thrill of landing contracts, meeting Nathan here when we were both wide-eyed grads ready to change the world. He's different now, chipped away by her influence, the man I loved buried under her shadow. A knock jolts me. Nathan stands there, tie still pristine, eyes pleading. "Faye, I'm sorry," he says soft as a whisper, stepping in like he's trespassing. "I tried to talk to her, but you know how she gets." "Did you know she'd do this?" I ask, voice steady as stone, pinning him where he stands. He can't meet my eyes, his silence a confession louder than words. "She mentioned concerns about the IPO," he mumbles, "how investors might see it." "See what, Nathan? That your wife's more than a hobbyist?" I snap, and he flinches. Disappointment sinks into my gut, heavy as lead, but my hand slips to my pocket, brushing the USB drive, my patents, my proof. A spark flickers through the ache. "Just go," I say, turning to gather my things. Diplomas, a photo of my folks, that little robot figurine from college that started it all. "Faye," he tries, reaching for me, but I pull back. "Don't." He lingers, lost in his perfect suit, then retreats. I'm alone again, but not empty. They've pushed me out, but they've handed me freedom. And I've got plans. Downtown Atlanta streaks by, a blur of glass and steel as I gun it to Carter and Associates, my last bastion in this war. The parking lot's quiet, but my pulse isn't, adrenaline humming as I stride into the lobby. James Carter, 45, waits there, his dark eyes sharp behind glasses, glinting like he's been spoiling for this brawl. "Saw this coming a mile off," he says, leading me to his office, a leather and law sanctuary that smells like victory. I drop into a chair, tension bleeding out as I spill it all. Eleanor's ambush, Lauren's smirk, Nathan's cowardice. James listens, nodding, then slides a thick file across his desk, smirking like a fox. "Been waiting for your call," he says, tapping the folder. "Let's see what we've got." We dive in. My patents, everyone with Faye Dawson etched in ink, not Hayes Innovations. I structured them that way from the start, with James's help. Back when I thought I was just being thorough. Now it's my lifeline. "No turning back once we pull this trigger," he cautions, leaning back, testing me. "I'm not the retreating type," I fire back, meeting his gaze. The tension melts into purpose, a plan taking shape. "They can use my tech, sure," I say, tracing a patent's edge. "But they don't own it. Those licenses? Mine to pull." James grins, predatory. "Timing's everything. We bide our time, let them strut, let them announce that launch. Then we hit." I nod, seeing it. Eleanor on stage, oblivious, while I yank the rug out. "They'll need me more than I need them," I say, voice steady, tasting the irony. She called it tinkering. I call it leverage. As I leave, James calls after me. Eleanor doesn't take challenges lightly. I pause, half smiling. Neither do I. The drive back is quieter, Atlanta's skyline a promise instead of a blur. My bag holds that USB, those papers, my future. Eleanor thinks she's cornered me, but she's handed me the board. 7 years building her empire, and I've got the keys to tear it down, or build my own. For the first time today, I breathe easy. This isn't over. It's just starting. Weeks blur into a haze of strategy, my midtown loft now a war room of patents and plans. I've traded the sterile glow of Hayes Innovations for this small, modern space. Exposed brick, a desk piled with legal pads, and a view of Atlanta's skyline that feels like a dare. Eleanor's press release hits the wires, erasing me with surgical precision. Hayes Innovations announces new R&D leadership. Lauren Pierce to spearhead innovation as company eyes growth. She's the new visionary, they say. Her Wharton pedigree polished to a sheen. My name's not even a footnote. I grin, cold and sharp. Let her shovel her own pit, I think, sipping coffee that's gone lukewarm. The days are a whirlwind of meetings, lawyers dissecting contracts, investors probing my next move, allies nodding as I lay out the chessboard. Nathan's texts pile up on my phone, each one a plea to sign that severance package, to fade quietly. Faye, please come home. We can talk. I ignore them, my eyes flicking to the stock ticker on my laptop instead. Hayes Innovations dips a point. Then two. Nothing major yet, but a chill thrill runs through me. They're unsteady, and I'm just getting started. Night falls, and I'm alone with my work. The loft quiet, except for the hum of my printer spitting out patent copies. Nathan calls, his voice tinny through the speaker. "You're sounding like her now?" he gripes when I brush off his begging. I lean back, the phone warm against my ear, and let a smirk creep into my reply. Maybe she rubbed off more than she bargained for. I hang up before he can sputter a response, the silence settling like armor. Every dodged call, every unsigned line on their hush money deal. It's fuel, stoking a fire Eleanor doesn't see coming. She wanted me out, thought I'd roll over. She's about to learn how wrong she is. Eleanor's voice blares through James's laptop, all swagger and deceit, filling his office with her polished lies. We're crouched over the screen, watching Hayes Innovations' big reveal, live-streamed from their glassy headquarters. She stands center stage in a power suit. 58 years of ruthlessness wrapped in silk, unveiling my tech as hers. Under Lauren Pierce's brilliant leadership, she declares, we're launching a revolutionary product line, medical devices that'll redefine the market. My pulse hammers, a drumbeat in my chest, but my smile's pure frost, curling at the edges as I watch her strut. She thinks she's untouchable, thinks she's erased me. Not yet, Eleanor. James taps the desk, his eyes glinting with the same predatory calm I feel. "Ready?" he asks, fingers poised over his phone. I nod, pulling up the email I've honed for weeks, a dagger aimed at their core. Subject: Patent licensing dispute. Faye Dawson challenges Hayes Innovations rights. It's addressed to every tech journalist, analyst, and investor in their orbit. My finger hovers over send, the moment electric. On screen, Lauren steps forward, basking in praise for my designs, her smugness a mirror of Eleanor's. I glance at James. "Hit it," I say, and he does. My email fires off, a silent grenade lobbed into their circus. The reaction's instant. Phones buzz through the audience, a ripple turning to a wave. Investors shift, heads bowing to screens, while Eleanor's speech falters mid-sentence. A familiar voice cuts through. Rachel Kim from the Wall Street Journal, 40, sharp as a tack. "Ms. Hayes," she calls standing, "these technologies mirror patents held by Faye Dawson. Can you comment on the licensing arrangements?" Eleanor's mask slips, just for a heartbeat, before her media training kicks in. "All intellectual property is fully secured," she bites out, her voice tight as a wire. Hayes Innovations has every right to what we're presenting. I lean closer to the laptop, my grin widening. Secured, sure, under licenses tied to me, set to expire, in 3 months, right before their precious launch. Rachel's not done. "We've just received a statement from Faye Dawson," she says, reading her phone, "claiming those licenses lapse soon. Care to comment?" Eleanor freezes, her composure cracking like thin ice, and the room erupts. Reporters typing, investors bolting for the exits, phones pressed to ears. James chuckles, low and dark. "Castle's crumbling," he mutters. I nod, victory creeping into my bones, as their stock ticker plummets on my second screen, down 10% in minutes. She wanted a fight, thought I'd stay down. This is just the opening bell. My phone buzzes an hour later, Eleanor's number flaring like a flare gun across the screen. I'm still in James's office, the live stream a ghost on the laptop, chaos echoing in my ears. I answer on the third ring, keeping my voice smooth, professional, a blade wrapped in velvet. "Hello, Eleanor." Her snarl crackles through, her composure finally shredded. "What do you think you're doing, Faye? Do you have any idea what you've just done?" I lean back, the leather chair creaking, and let her rage wash over me. I'm damn near weightless, lighter than I've been in months. Actually, I do, I reply, calm as a still lake. I'm protecting what's mine. Isn't that what you taught me, always guard your assets? She practically spits the word back. Your assets? Everything you built was for Hayes Innovations. You can't just... I cut her off, my tone sharpening. Can't what, Eleanor? Can't stand up? Can't run a real business? Check your contracts. Every patent, every breakthrough you just paraded, licensed to you, sure, but owned by me. Those licenses, they expire in 3 months. Silence stretches, heavy and delicious. I can almost see her, that perfect mask, slipping. Realization dawning too late. What do you want? She finally asks, voice tight, a cornered animal baring teeth. What I've earned, I say, letting the words sink in. We'll discuss details with our lawyers. I'm sure you'll want to review everything thoroughly this time. She hisses a warning. This isn't over. I smile, soft but unyielding. No, it's just beginning. I end the call, the click, a punctuation mark on her unraveling. Nathan shows up that evening, knocking on my loft door, looking like a man who's lost his compass. His tie's loose, hair a mess, a far cry from the polished sun Eleanor molded. Can I come in? He asks, voice raw. I step aside, curiosity winning over spite. He takes in my space, the books, the patents, the life I'm building, and sinks onto the couch. Mother's furious, he says. The board's panicking. Stock's down 23%. I correct him coolly. 23%, yes. I've been watching. He looks up, really seeing me, maybe for the first time in years. You planned this all along? No, I say, honest, crossing to my desk. I planned it the moment she decided my work was hers to steal. I pull out a file, emails between her and Lauren, 6 months of plotting my ouster, calling me a necessary inconvenience. I shove it at him. Did you know? He pales, shaking his head. I knew she wasn't happy. About us. About how it looked. But this... His voice breaks, and I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. She didn't care, I say, and you didn't fight. He reaches for me, but I step back. Faye, please. I cut him off. Go home, Nathan. I've got work to do. He leaves, and I'm alone again, stronger for it. Lauren fidgets at the Edison, her gloss peeling under the cafe's dim lights. I slide into the seat across from her, the air thick with coffee and tension. She's 29, all ambition and designer threads, but today her suit's rumpled, her usual smugness swapped for a twitchy unease. She called me last night, voice shaky, begging to meet. Now she's here, clutching a cup like it's her lifeline. Thank you for coming, she says, barely meeting my eyes. I know you probably hate me, Faye. I lean back, crossing my arms. I don't hate you, Lauren. You're just another piece in Eleanor's game, not worth the energy. She flinches, but presses on, her words tumbling out. That's why I'm here, about Eleanor, about what's really been happening at Hayes Innovations. My pulse quickens, but I keep my face still, letting her spill. She's been undermining you for years, she says, voice low. Taking credit, burying your role. She's got files, documentation, she's cooked to claim your patents belong to the company. She's planning to sue, tie you up in court until you break. I smile, small and sharp, thinking of my own paper trail, pristine and ironclad. Let her try, I say, my tone a quiet blade. Lauren's eyes widen, desperation creeping in. You don't get it. She's desperate. The IPO's collapsing, investors are bailing, and Thompson Medical's deal with you just dropped. She's talking criminal charges, fraud. I study her, the cracks in her polish deepening. She's not evil, just naive, a pawn who thought she'd won the board. Is that why you're here? I ask, tilting my head. To warn me or save yourself? She looks down, ashamed. Both, she admits, voice a whisper. I thought this was my dream job, but it's all lies. I weigh her words, then lean forward. Send me everything, every file, every scrap she's got. Do that, and I'll make sure you land on your feet when this implodes. Her relief's palpable, a shaky nod sealing the deal. Tonight, she promises. I stand, leaving her with her cold coffee. Eleanor's digging deeper, but I've got the shovel now. My power suit's my shield, a deep navy I picked myself, not one of Eleanor's hand-me-downs, as James and I stride into Hayes Innovations headquarters. The lobby buzzes with nervous energy, staff whispering about the emergency board meeting Eleanor's called to fix me. We time it perfectly. Stepping off the elevator just as the board gathers, their faces a mix of dread and curiosity. My heart steady, a metronome of resolve as we push through the boardroom doors. Eleanor's mid-sentence at the head of the table, 58 and furious, her voice a whip. This reckless sabotage. She freezes when she sees me, her rage a tangible heat. Nathan's to her right, pale but upright. Lauren's to her left, eyes down, clutching a folder, like it burns. What is the meaning of this? Eleanor demands, slamming a hand on the table. This is a private meeting. I set my files down, deliberate, my voice calm but unyielding. Actually, it's exactly where I need to be. We've got evidence. Systematic fraud, patent theft, corporate espionage. Everyone here needs to see it. Her lips curl, a snarl forming. How dare you? The chairman, a gray-haired vet named Bill, cuts her off, his gaze sharp. Let her speak, Eleanor. Given the stock's freefall, we need answers. I dive in, laying it out piece by piece. My patents, everyone with Faye Dawson inked in black, licensed to Hayes, not owned. Emails proving Eleanor's years of credit stealing, her plan to oust me before the IPO. Then Lauren's files, her forged documents, her scheme to sue me into submission. The board listens, faces hardening as I stack the truth like bricks. Eleanor's flush deepens, her control slipping. This is ridiculous, she snaps, standing. She's trying to destroy us out of spite. No, Mother, Nathan's voice cuts through, steady for once. He rises, shoulders squared, eyes locked on me before turning to her. She's trying to save it from you. The room stills, a collective breath held. I move for an immediate vote of no confidence in the CEO, he says, and I almost falter, surprise flickering through me. Eleanor's face goes white. Nathan, what are you doing? He doesn't flinch. What I should have done years ago, standing up for what's right. Bill calls the vote, hands rising one by one, unanimous. Eleanor's out, her empire snatched in an hour. She storms off, a deposed queen, and the board pivots fast, approving my proposal, a Thompson medical partnership to save Hayes while securing my patents. As they file out, plotting damage control, Nathan approaches, his tie askew, eyes tired. I know it's too late, he says quietly. For us, I mean. But thank you, Faye, for showing me what strength looks like. I nod, the weight lifting from my shoulders. Take care of the company, Nathan. Make your dad proud. He leaves and I'm alone with James, who grins. Checkmate, he says. I smile back. Damn right. 6 months later, I sit in my Pierce Medical office, the Atlanta skyline sprawling beyond my window like a victory banner. My patents line the wall behind me, framed, not hidden, each one a testament to what I've built. Eleanor's retired, a footnote in the news after Hayes Innovations merged with Thompson under my deal. I'm unshackled, finally free, a board member at one of the biggest medical tech firms in the country. My tech's saving lives now, not propping up her ego, and the thought warms me more than any IPO ever could. A small package sits on my desk, delivered this morning. I open it, and there's my old robot figurine, the one I built in college, the spark that set me on this path. A note's tucked inside, Nathan's handwriting scrawled across it. This belongs with its maker. Thank you for teaching me what real business looks like. And I place it on my desk, a quiet anchor to my roots, and lean back, letting the moment settle. He's right. It does belong here, with me, not buried in their past. My phone buzzes, a news alert popping up. Hayes Innovations completes successful merger with Thompson Medical. Former CEO Eleanor Hayes steps down. I smile, thinking of that boardroom day when she dismissed me as a dabbler, a nobody playing at her game. She thought she'd won, thought I'd fade. Instead, I rewrote the rules. She taught me one last lesson, though. Success isn't just tech or patents. It's knowing your worth, fighting for it with every breath. I learned that the hard way, and I'll never forget it. I turn back to my work, a new project glowing on my screen, unrestricted, mine to shape. The figurine catches the light, a reminder of where I started, how far I've come. Eleanor underestimated me, saw me as a threat to discard. Her mistake. She forgot the cardinal rule: never bet against a woman with nothing to lose and everything to prove. My clock's just ticking, and I've got worlds to build.